this video I want to talk about perception of beauty. The reason I picked up this topic because this specific thing was robbing happiness, dreams from my life for a long time, and it came back actually, but I handled it in a different way, which I will talk towards the end of the video. So first of all, my old perception of beauty was Hollywood movies. Back then I grew up in India and I was watching these Hollywood movies, and my perception of beauty for a guy became, you gotta have a beautiful skin, you gotta have the jawline, you gotta have the perfect smile, of course, you gotta have that 6 abs. And back then I didn't know that my mind is a meaning making machine, so that literally means everything you take in, if you don't assign meaning to it, it's just gonna take a default thing. So for example, when I was watching those things, I didn't filter those. I didn't just think them as a movie, I just thought like they are real, I gotta take it in. So my mind started to think, okay, that's beautiful. So whenever I had a pimple or something happen on my face, or I was not having that 6 abs, my perception became I'm ugly. And I kept saying that for so long in my life that it became a reality, and I started to feel that way. And because of that, I was not able to make any friends, I was not able to look myself in the mirror, I was not able to even make this vlog back then because I used to think I'm ugly. I was not comfortable in my own skin. So after reading, after doing so much, I thought it went away, but it didn't. So I started to say myself, and I want to actually tell you how I thought it went away. I used some tools. So number one tool was just starting saying myself every day, you're enough. That was number one. And it's very easy to say you're enough when everything is working all right. Second was I started using loft equations. Loft equations are positive questions that makes your brain thinks and comes up with an answer. For example, Gurjot, why are you so beautiful? So my brain comes up with an answer because the brain likes to solve puzzles. So this was the second tool I was using. And then I understood how I'm not this body. That felt me more liberating because I'm not this body, so I should not be attached to it, because whenever you get attached to something, you are literally giving that thing your happiness away. So I have a healthy connection to my body now. I'm grateful to it, but I'm not like obsessed with it. And so I did this thing and I thought it went away, but a day or two ago, I had this pimple popped up. Oh man, the thoughts popped up again, and then I realized in that moment how it's still there. So I have to keep doing it what I'm doing, because subconscious mind takes some time to override. And I spent that whole day doing loft equation, and I would not recommend that. Really, don't fight those thoughts, because when you fight, you're literally draining yourself from so much energy, because everything is energy. Thoughts, emotion, everything is energy. And whenever I did that, I just thought like, okay, this is gonna work, but it didn't work. Throughout the day, I felt okay, but towards the end, in the end, actually I felt so drained. And then I realized, Gurjo, what have you been doing all day? You were living in future. You have to come back to the present, and forgot about that in a sense, because I was so busy fighting those thoughts. And today's day 3, I would say. And I'm so grateful these pimples popped up, because it helped me grow in a different level. Because of that pimples, I got aware how they're still there and how I am getting attached to this body. So I have to detach myself in a way, which I did through meditation, and saying to myself again and again, I am enough with or without it. And that made a profound change in myself. Now I felt that beauty perception was dialing down. And I know it's still there, but you have to understand, you're operating on 5% of your mind right now, and you're trying to change the 95%. You have to give yourself some time. that I would say it was not easy to override that thing. So what I basically did was I said that to myself, you're enough with or without it. And the second thing I did, I come back to present whenever that thought popped up. Because I understand I'm not my every thought. And if I fight it, I'm gonna drain it, which I don't wanna do that. So you have to remodel your beauty perception. If that perception of beauty is robbing you the happiness the way it did for me. And I also want to emphasize, I'm not saying it's not nice to have beautiful skin. It's totally nice. It's nice to have. It's not a necessity for me anymore. I'm okay. Because what makes me beautiful is not the skin. What makes me beautiful is my authentic version, the real me, who's honest to himself and other qualities. That's what makes me beautiful. So now I am detaching myself from this goal. I'm happy to have it, but I don't want to obsess over it because I understand I am more than the skin and the body. I respect it by eating it right, by exercising, but some things I just can't control, and I have to be okay with that. So I want you to ask you, do you have any beauty perception that's robbing you your happiness? Maybe it's time for you to remodel it the way I did. Because why do you want to believe those movies beliefs? And you may think you may not have it. Maybe I would recommend test yourself. So why don't you, instead of those movie beliefs of beauty, make your own? Because movie beliefs are according to the society, and you don't have to always go according to society. Go according to yourself. Make your own beauty perception. Because the day you do, you're gonna be liberated. And I want you to know you are enough with or without it. And I will link below some of the resources how science is actually proving how you're not this body. You are actually a signal in this body. Your body is just an antenna getting the signal. And I'll post those links below, so you should check it out. You're gonna be blown away. Science is catching up to spirituality. That's the best thing. Like our next evolution is gonna be the conscious level. So I would really recommend check those resources out if you're looking for more science.